Hey guys, welcome back to another Thor WCast for some high-tier Deadlock gameplay. We're just getting in the beginning of this match. We are looking at a Magician and a McGinnis facing off against a Yamato and a Calico, and Yamato got flying parried by the Magician and then walled off a little bit. A lot of punches coming through from the Yamato and the Calico. They do eventually claim the first blood onto the McGinnis just as we get started. Jeez. No rest for the caster there. We just pop in and they're like, go. Alright, so to talk about these lanes, and which one I think should do better, I honestly think both lanes have plenty of potential to win against the other. Sinclair, I should get used to saying his name, Sinclair.
Well played.
I'm going to say Magician a lot, you're just going to have to accept that. Anyway, he has so much poke with the Vexing Bolt in the early game that no matter what heroes he's against, if he hits those Vexing Bolts, they will suffer and will have an incredibly difficult time staying in lane. And he can, by himself, bully two heroes out of the lane as long as they aren't allowed to jump on him, basically. So we'll see how well they're able to leverage that between the McGinnis and the Sinclair. Meanwhile, Yamato and Calico want to jump on their opponent and have tools to do so. So I could see Sinclair having some trouble in that specific possibility, you know? Anyway, moving to the mid lane where we see the Eternus and the Ladygeist have just been killed against a Wraith Paradox. In fact, I think this is the same Wraith Paradox we saw in the last game I cast. I actually went to a different player to look at this time. They just happened to get in the same match as each other. Funny. And thank God there's a pause. I can talk about stuff for a little bit. Anyway, Wraith Paradox, I said it last time, it has some potential in the lane for decent burst damage and decent fighting. But at the end of the day, I do think that Wraith has traditionally been pretty weak when it comes to the laning stage. She's maybe gotten a little bump with the changes that have been made, but I still do think that she is that weak laning stage presence where she scales pretty well, but has to get through the early parts of the game. And Paradox has been nerfed so many times over the patches. She did get a big nerf on the last patch or anything, just through the past that I don't even know how to gauge her power level. In fact, we see a dive from the Geist onto this Wraith. Not much is going to come of it. Wraith dives into the Veil and then back out very quickly, keeping herself safe. Well played by her. McGinnis took a big chunk of damage from the Yamato and the Calico. Oofas. Lane is not going well for the McGinnis and the Sinclair. So, despite what I said before about, I think they have a possibility. I think they have a chance at being able to bully the lane with the Sinclair's power. It ain't happening right now, that's for sure. Right now, it is just the Amber lane doing work here. Now, moving on to our final lane, we have a Moe and Krill along with a Lash facing off against a Shiv and a Grey Talon. I want to say that both sides are going to be mostly fine in this lane. Moe and Krill Lash are both kind of bulky sustainers in the early game because they have these spells that heal them when they hit opponents. In fact, Moe and Krill, diving in right there, does get a hit onto the Scorn. And both of them, you see, have this Quicksilver reload, and it's attached. You can imbue it onto a spell, which gives it extra power, makes it do more damage. And the way that these spells work is they heal you based on the amount of damage you do. Both the Scorn and Lash's Flog. And so these two can survive poke pretty darn well. In the early game, once they've got those items, before those items, they can be a little bit on the weaker side. But once they've got those, they're pretty hard to bully out of the lane. And even if you bully them a fair bit, they can generally sustain themselves pretty well. So I don't see them having too difficult of a problem. But as the lane wears on, as Grey Talon actually gets some items, his charge shot can be pretty oppressive in lane as long as he hits them. And Shiv is going for Slice and Dice build, so he's got Upfront Burst. This is the build that I'm used to seeing Shiv do. So there's a real possibility of the Grey Talon and the Shiv being just fine. In fact, they're even ahead in souls right now, despite the fact that there's no kills going on. They're just doing better in lane right now.
Goodbye.
And look at that. See? That charge shot, very low cooldown, multiple charges, solid damage, and it's only going to get bigger and stronger, so it can be a very difficult tool to deal with in the laning stage. It used to be stronger too, before they nerfed it. Calico, I see her diving deep on the minimap. She is not quite killing this Sinclair. He's jumping, hiding, ultimate from the Sinclair, stolen off the Yamato. Not enough to keep himself alive, though. Parry onto the Guardian, and Calico will just hop right out. On top of the building is the Yamato. She drops on down, gets herself to safety as well. You know, I said maybe the Sinclair and the McGinnis could survive this lane. Apparently, I was way too naive. Calico and Yamato are just annihilating them. Also, I apologize for anyone that wants to see Yamato's normal skin. 2B is much better skin. Infinitely better. Valve, you get Yoko Taro on the phone and ask to get a 2B skin in for Yamato. People will pay money for that. I guarantee it. Now, looking back across the other lanes, looking across everything generally, I was going to say it's looking pretty even, and then all of a sudden, Geist decides to make an oopsie and get swapped to her own doom.
They can't hide forever.
I think she was going to parry the Guardian and then maybe pop a soul exchange onto the Paradox, who was full health, and then that would swap their health, and then the Geist would be in a fine position. And instead, Paradox, very quick on the draw, tosses the wall up, uses the paradoxical swap, Geist unable to do anything during it, and she just gets blown up. Well played, well played. Look at this, Shiv and Grey Talon have chewed through this lane extremely effectively. Mo and Krill not able to solo run into them. Even with the Scorn to keep himself alive, he not tanky enough to just sit there and take the shots. 2 points in charge shot, 2 points in guided L. Might be maxing the guided L to get that execute. And another kill going on the left lane. Shiv will get killed by the Lash coming in at that moment. But the left lane, Yamato and Calico are dominating this lane. This is gonna present problems for the Sapphire team, and these problems will not be easy to solve. These are heroes that are very, very good at diving into enemies, staying on top of them, and guaranteeing that they cannot escape them, on top of being pretty darn hard to kill themselves while they do it, especially through the mid-game. So I can see this becoming a problem that the Sapphire team will have difficulty answering. But for the time being, it is just them bullying the hell out of the Sinclair and the McGinnis, because it's still pretty early in the game. I mean, it's not even 9 minutes yet. Nobody's taken a Guardian. If we look at the state of the Guardians, it's a little in favor of the Amber Hand. Nothing too outrageous on either side. Doesn't seem that anyone is going to grab a Guardian right at this moment. Wait a second, Lash? Is he gonna... No, he's not diving in for the ultimate. And besides, Grey Talon just hops away super fast. Taking several buckshots to the back of the skull by this Shiv. Max Rage, once Rage is built up like this, Shiv does a fairly large amount of damage. But when both heroes focus onto him, you see that his health disappears pretty quickly right now. That damage deference nerf, actually, you can definitely see it, but the damage output that Shiv can perform is still high. The Owl, the guided Owl, not going to finish off this Mo and Krill. He is still alive for now. But there's... Oh, the combo out of the execute! Absolutely outplayed! 1000% outplay by the Mo and Krill. That was like a couple frames away from being just an execute onto Mo and Krill, and then probably a kill onto the Lash right afterwards, but instead it winds up becoming a double kill in their favor. Super on point. I love seeing stuff like that. Well done, well done. Hey, little rotation came out from the Yamato and the Calico. They do get themselves a kill onto that Paradox, and they're able to make sure that the McGinnis is not free to pressure this lane. That's what McGinnis loves to do. Looks like we're getting a gun McGinnis build. McGinnis loves nothing more than to be left alone in a lane with the Guardians and to just be allowed to say, hello, this is my minigun and my turrets. They kill Guardians real fast. So they make sure McGinnis can't do that right now. Let's take a peek over here. Once more, the Guided Owl not able to finish off the Mo and Krill, but Mo and Krill is low enough that the follow-up from the Shiv will do it. However, there are two heroes still here. Wraith made a rotation. Shiv, they know you're there, buddy. Uh-oh. He dashes through both of them. A lot of damage, trying to get a kill onto the Wraith if possible, or the Lash. Lash is actually lower. Tons of damage coming into the Lash's skull from the buckshot of the Shiv. And Shiv is able to chase them both away because he is at full rage, and full rage Shiv gets a nice damage boost. Little bit of poke still coming out from the Wraith, but there's no way that the Shiv is going to dive back in without the help of another hero, and here comes a Lady Geist to help out. Diving in, parries the tower. Shiv getting over there, executed onto the Wraith, and the Lash will be taken down with her. So the thing about Shiv is they did nerf him. They made it so that his rage can't be built up except on heroes, but they did give a compensation buff to make it build up faster. And they did make it so that his bloodletting doesn't defer as much damage, and it also will... Oh wow, this isn't gonna work, right? Oh, never mind, it's fine. Good solo kill by the Mo. I underestimated his damage. Anyway, as I was saying, the damage deference doesn't defer damage for as long, so it comes in faster, making him essentially a lot less tanky than he used to be. Mo and Krill throws sand in their eyes, pocket sand. One of the strongest spells in the game, prevents you from shooting him until it wears off, but it has worn off. Yamato is in the area, he's climbing. There was a nerf recently to ropes. If you are taking hero damage, you climb ropes slower, they miss out on the Mo and Krill. He escaped. He snuck by. Downstairs, he's in the teleporter, he gets out. Well played by the Mo and Krill, sneaking out of a sure death situation. Wait a second, there's a Calico near him. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. They sent a cat to wait for the mole. Cats can hunt moles. Cats are one of the greatest hunters in nature. And this mole has been hunted into extinction. Calico showing why cats are the top of the food chain in most cases. Even house cats. House cats are really good little murderers. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Calico being chased down by 3 heroes. She does not have her cat form available for extra mobility. She does have her ultimate to reset. The ultimate will reset all of her spells. It will give her the cat form back. In fact, she probably should have popped it by now. Still should pop it. She uses it just to move around a bit, and it winds up not being enough. The flog from the Lash will finish her off. She probably should have used it sooner. Reset the cat form and ran away like that. Ooh, ultimate from the Eternus is going to knock Mo and Krill out of the burrow. The pocket sand, going to keep them from shooting him for a bit, but it's not going to be nearly enough to get him out of here. Mo and Krill dead. Paradox in the area. Guided Owl is going to hit her, stun her, do a good bit of burst damage, but doesn't look like they're actually going to follow up here. Too many heroes in the area from the Sapphire team. Let's see, Lash looking at this area being chased by the Grey Talon and the Shiv. He will be fine, though. Wraith, on the other hand, being dove behind the Walker by the Yamato and the Calico. So remember when I said that the Yamato and Calico getting this early game lead could present some major problems for the enemy team to deal with, and they might have difficulty dealing with it. That's what's happening right now with those two. Yamato 5-0-3, Calico 4-1-4. That is a really good position to be in for them, because these are snowballing heroes that like to snowball. And why would they grab that? It had the candles. That's a very deep urn position, as you can see. They would have to put that deep into the enemy territory, so picking it up was kind of a mistake on their part. Basic math was not on their side. I guess to explain the urn mechanics real quick. The way the urn mechanics work is that the net worth between the teams, if there is a 10% or higher discrepancy, or maybe it's 15%, I'll have to double check that. I'll put like a note on screen for you guys to make sure I'm 100% accurate. But I believe it's a 10% discrepancy between the teams, then the urn will be in a safer position for the team that is behind, and force the team that is ahead to go into a dangerous position if they want to capture it. And the urn will respawn itself every 5 minutes after its first spawn, so until 20 minutes on the timer, the urn is going to be in that dangerous position for the Amber team, so they're not really going to be able to do much in the form of contesting it. And that's why what you see right now is there's always a hero on their team just kind of holding on to it and making sure it doesn't go back to its neutral position on the map, because then a Sapphire team member will actually pick it up and just run it to the safe spot and either force the Amber team into a bad position to fight, or guarantee that they get some comeback for themselves.
You do have a plan, yes?
Defend green.
And that's why you see Grey Talon just holding onto the urn, but it feels bad to do this when you're not a support hero, because this whole time, I mean, what's he doing? He's just grabbing some box farm. Box farm is okay and all, but it's not nearly as good as actual farm. Combo from the Moan Krill catches the cat. The mole hunts the cat this time with the help of a gambler who also tossed telekinesis, so both ults popped, guaranteeing that this Calico does not get a chance to run away. Alright, another pause has happened, as we like to see. Let's take a peek here. I don't think these two are going to fight each other alone. There is a McGinnis in the area next to the Shiv, so maybe something will come of this. Let's take a look. Lash in the area with McGinnis. Pop up the Shiv, the wall. Oh, unfortunately does not stop him from being on the right side of the wall, the proper side, to keep himself safe. And it looks like the Shiv is still going to get chased down at this rate. Hit one flog and he's done. Hit one flog and he's done. Oh, he counterspells the flog. Shiv, with a brilliant use of the counterspell, absolutely broken OP item. Not enough to save him at the end of the day because it does have a cooldown, but he should have died the first time. This means that Lash had to dive in even deeper and is in a slightly more dangerous position, but it doesn't wind up punishing him yet. Oh, no, here's the punish. Here comes Calico. Lash is schmoovin', gets a really great parry, but there's also a Moan Krill here, and he will die because of the numbers. And it looks like they're going to dunk this urn in favor of the Sapphire team, like I said. Once the Amber hand drops that urn, someone on the Sapphire team is absolutely going to pick it up and run it to the safe position for themselves and get themselves some comeback gold. And just like that, the game is back to even. Comeback gold? I meant souls. There's souls in this game, not gold, silly. Souls are real currency. So absolutely a bit of a mistake on the Amber team's part to pick up the urn when they did. And that locks it into place. So once the urn has been picked up, until it resets its spawn at the every 5-minute mark after 10 minutes, yeah? So 15, 20, etc. A new urn will spawn at 20, you'll see. Until it resets, it will stay at that spot no matter what. It stops considering what the net worth changes in the game are or anything like that. It does not dynamically update itself. It is set in stone. So even if the Amber team lost a massive team fight and the Sapphire team was suddenly, I don't know, 20,000 souls ahead, the urn still would have been in the safe position for themselves. So players really gotta keep themselves from accidentally grabbing the urn at the wrong time and guaranteeing it in a good spot for their opponents. Especially at higher levels of play. At higher levels of play, that is guaranteed to be a mistake. Huge damage bursting into Lash from the Shiv. A chase down from the Moe and Krill, and the McGinnis is not going to latch onto the Shiv. He will get himself out. Everyone will be safe. But there is an Infernus in the area. Standing on the building. Taking some pot shots at the Moe and Krill. Get some sand thrown in his eyes. But everyone will be fine. We got a bird's eye view of the area. A fight over the buff winds up going the way of the Sapphire team on both sides. So we have a gun buff for Wraith. That is huge for her, as she is a gun carry. Yamato pops the ult, preventing Wraith's ult from happening. Once Yamato pops the ult, she is completely immune to any debuffs for the duration. Moe and Krill fighting against Calico, but I already said cats are the greatest hunters in nature. And here comes an owl, another fantastic hunter, but I don't think Moe and Krill is anywhere near low enough for that owl to matter. Instead, it's just kind of going to ward them off while 2B, the Yamato, is sneaking this urn over here. The only one in the area is this Sinclair, but she doesn't necessarily know that. She can't see everything on the minimap like I can. She doesn't know if McGinnis is there or not. McGinnis is there now. They know where Paradox is. They don't know where Moe and Krill is. So any hero that's off the map, Yamato might as well guess that they're right here, right? Yamato ult stolen by the Magician. Sinclair is just gonna use it to be safe, really. So, anytime a heavy melee hits onto a hero holding the urn, you pop the urn out of them, and so well played by Sinclair. He gives his life up for it. Some of this money will be denied, but he gets the urn. Absolutely outplaying the hell out of Yamato there. Getting the parry, popping the urn out, grabbing it, and immediately taking it. And while all this was happening on the opposite side of the map, the other heroes on the Sapphire team have pushed this lane all the way up to the base Guardians. In fact, Lash is even still there for some reason. Everyone else backed off, and he is alone. And one more shot. No! The afterburn will be stopped. Lash is going to pop the ultimate to throw the Infernus away and try to get out of there, but Infernus is already on him. Lash using the vertical mobility of his hero to get himself over the rooftops and back to safety. It did cost him his ult, though. That's a bit of an expensive cost. It's pretty long cooldown at the moment. He does not have any levels in it to lower its cooldown. And mid-boss was taken during all of this. Looks like it will be completely free. The Wraith, the Moe and Krill, and the Lash all take it. Honestly, so since these are like instant respawns, well, I say instant, 3-second respawns after the hero dies. They're like the Aegis of the Immortal in Dota, but way better because they don't take an item slot, and there's 3 of them. Generally, you probably want to prioritize these on the heroes that can do as much work as possible while they're alive. So putting one on Wraith really makes sense.
Great job. Good job.
Oh, even if I disable these, the text still comes through. I need to, like, look at if there is some sort of command console command to just make sure that text doesn't show up at all, so that we don't have to look at that from time to time. Really toxic in here. Not as toxic as me on any given day, but still, really toxic in here. Setting a bad example for the kids that watch this game. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Anyway, as I was saying, the respawn, the best hero on the Sapphire team for it is absolutely the Wraith. So as long as she gets it, that is the important part. The other heroes that get it, honestly, I would have said Paradox would probably be way up there, and maybe McGinnis. Yeah, it's Gun McGinnis, so probably McGinnis as well. Those are probably the heroes that would have been able to make the best use of having a second life. But Lash and Moe and Krill took it. So, what are you going to do, right? Little bit of base guardian pressure coming down. They do take down these base guardians, unlocking another item slot for themselves on the Sapphire team. If we take a peek at the item slots, they've unlocked the very last one now with those base guardian kills. And the Amber team, only one slot locked right now, and that's, you know, kill some base guardians and get them. They can absolutely make it happen. They get a good team fight, maybe. The only problem is that if the Sapphire team stays grouped, there are 9 heroes instead of 6 to deal with because they have 3 respawns. And that is difficult for you to overcome the numbers advantage. That being said, the chase down onto this McGinnis looks like it might be successful. Bunny form from the Sinclair. McGinnis still alive somehow. Sinclair, ulted by the Moe and Krill, will wind up getting killed because of it. They are trying so desperately to kill this McGinnis, and it is just not happening. Finally goes down, but look at the cost. 5 heroes killed on the Amber team, all in the name of trying to kill a McGinnis. They got a Paradox along the way. Maybe they could get this 1 life out of the Wraith, but probably not. This is a complete team wipe. All for a McGinnis. All for a simple McGinnis.
Well played.
You just gotta ask yourself sometimes, is the cost worth
Well played.
the risk? And it was not. It did look like they actually got Moe and Krill one time as well. He no longer has his Rejuvenator buff. So there is that. But still, a complete team wipe for just that. Feels bad, man. We are looking at a near 30k net worth discrepancy in favor of the Sapphire team right now, who are looking very, very scary. And as long as they continue to stay, for the most part, bunched up, you know, they can separate to do some farm here and there, but that's about all that they can do. I should say that's all they should do in terms of splitting up. Because the biggest failings... Oh, the combo has grabbed Gray, and Talon is so dead by just the Moe and Krill. This Moe and Krill has got an incredible damage build. Guaranteed to get kills. He's got a lot of health. He just doesn't have much in the way of resistances. So he's actually kind of deceptively tanky. HP only goes so far when you have no resistances, right? That being said, the rest of the team is in the area, and thus, Moe and Krill should be relatively fine. Maybe gets killed by the Calico at the end of the day. Will get killed by the Calico at the end of the day. But once more, 5 heroes down on the Amber team. Calico is the last one left alive, and I don't see how she could possibly stop the advance of these 4 heroes, considering 2 of them have an extra life as well, one of them being the Wraith, who is at 41k net worth, the highest on the map. Absolutely terrifying to try and fight this hero right now. By the way, remember what I said on a different cast about having infinite ammo while sliding? That's why you constantly see the Wraith just, like, sitting down, standing up, sitting down, standing up while shooting. Slide, stand, slide, stand. That's just to make your gun magazine increase, essentially. It says 131 is the max, but if you constantly do that sliding tech, then you could shoot like 800 bullets before you actually have to reload. If you do it really, really well. Or if you're on like a slope and can slide down. I just noticed 4,200 HP on Wraith. Wow, that's... And she has Spirit Resilience for extra defenses. This isn't a squishy, deceptive amount of tank or anything like that. This hero is tanky. This is your late game Giga carry on this team right now. Wraith just tanking through everything, fighting everyone and winning. With a little bit of help from her teammates as well, no problem. Easy as can be. A complete stomp. once the Sapphire team grabbed that mid-boss. They leveraged the fact that every hero with a Rejuvenator buff has an extra life, and they don't really have to be scared of diving in and fighting or anything like that. It is 100% possible for a hero like Wraith that usually wants to not get up close and personal to just throw that out the window and go in. Because if she dies, it's fine. She gets back up again. And as long as she has teammates in the area, that is ample opportunity to fight back and make a comeback, unless it is like a complete and total murder. But that's not what happened. Instead, it was good coordination by the Sapphire team, and they wound up just being able to muscle their way to a victory the second they had those 3 extra lives. They were doing pretty well by that time. The mid-game was a good comeback for the Sapphire Flame. The mistake of picking up that urn in the early game really made it difficult for the Amber Hand to prevent them from taking it. They tried to a little bit, but they half committed. They lost the heroes that half committed. The urn was picked up and delivered by the Sapphire Flame, and suddenly the game was even and started tilting in favor of them as it went forward. And thus was the downfall of the Amber team and the rise of the Sapphire team to their victory. Thank you all very much for watching another Thor Wcast. I hope you enjoyed this game. Sorry that I still haven't figured out how to make sure that the players talking in-game don't show up on screen. I should really try and figure that out, mostly because often enough, there's nothing nice being said between the players. So, again, apologies there. I'll try and figure it out by the next one. For now, though, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed another Thor Wcast. If you did like it, a subscribe, a like, a comment, those things help YouTube's stupid algorithm do stuff for us. I'm going to call it a dumb algorithm and a stupid algorithm every single time because it's dumb and stupid. I will see you on the next one, everybody. Have a great rest of your day, guys.